Hello, I'm Dr. Roxy Barber, and I practice integrative medicine and aesthetic medicine here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And today I'm going to talk to you about cupping and gua sha. These are two modalities used a lot in Chinese medicine, including in my office with my patients. And people usually really love both of these treatments. So with cupping, there's really great cupping and not so great cupping. So I always urge people, go to someone that has been professionally trained extensively. If you go to a Chinese medicine doctor, we have over 4.5 years of training. So there's a lot of really fantastic things that can be done with cupping and gua sha. So like I said, I urge you to go to someone that's had extensive proper training for this, because people can get injured. So with that said, what cupping is I do the traditional fire cups. So we take a cup and we have a hemostat with a flame on it, and the cup goes over it, and then we put it on the body. And we're not heating up the cup, so don't try this at home. The hemostat with the alcohol on it is used just to burn the oxygen off, and then we put it on the body, and that burns. When it burns the oxygen off, it creates a suction. So what is that suction doing? If someone has pain or blood stagnation, it's going to help move that blood stagnation. What is blood stagnation? Blood stagnation is we have our muscle fibers, and they should have some elasticity to them, and there are some spaces between them. And what can happen is the blood that's supposed to flow through them, if you cut your finger, that blood consistency, we know what that is. That's how we want our blood to flow through our muscles. But sometimes, because of injuries, because of how we eat, because of lack of exercise, or just our natural body's constitution, we can get what's called blood stagnation. So in those spaces, that blood, things get kind of hung up in there, and it thickens up and kind of turns into like a jello consistency, and then it doesn't move. The muscles aren't as elastic, they're not stretching like they should, and then it can affect the other muscles around them, and then the spine and other joints, and it's just a domino effect. But that stagnation can be old dead red blood cells, waste from cellular metabolism, extracellular debris, lactic acid, all different types of toxins, and it just gets stuck. So when we put the cup on and it creates that negative pressure, it's going to pull the blood up out of the muscle, especially all that stagnated blood. And if there is a lot of stagnation, that's when people will get what looks like those hickey marks. It's not bruising. You're actually seeing what was stuck in the muscle get pulled up, and then it sits above the muscle but under the skin, but you can visibly see it through the skin. So the darker the marks, the worse the stagnation is, the more you should get cupping and would get relief from it. And if you do this every 7 to 10 days for a while, it will get to the point where we've gotten all the stagnation out of the muscles, and I won't be able to leave those hickey marks. So when you get to that point, you know we've moved the stagnation out of the area. And if you don't have stagnation, it's still great to do cupping because it feels good. It helps move a lot of blood through the muscles, and it's helpful to move edema out. So sometimes when there's pain and inflammation in an area, a lot of times it can be from blood stagnation, especially in the back and the neck and the legs. And the other thing that's really great with cupping, especially when you're doing the back, is any lung conditions. So in Chinese medicine, our lungs have a lot to do with our immune system. And right down the spine, the paraspinal muscles, the muscles that go along the spine, there's a major tonification or strengthening point for each of the meridians. So it's a really strengthening treatment too when you do cupping on all of those points. And when you're over the lungs, if someone has a lung condition going on, even small babies I've worked on, children, they love it. It can be very helpful for that. So if you have a cough, a cold, that you're, even if, whether it's dry or there's a lot of mucus in the lungs, congestion, it can help clear that out. Asthma, bronchitis, whooping cough, childhood asthma, smoker's cough, COPD. It's really fantastic for the lungs as well. We can do it all over the body. It can be used to help improve cellulite as well. So if there's an injury to the area, it promotes blood flow also. Sometimes you'll see other cupping that's done where people use the pump, and that's just personal preference. I prefer the traditional. I was trained in the classic traditional way of using fire cups, so that's what I love. Also, when you have those, we can do what's called bleeding cupping, which sounds very scary, but it's not. We use a 7-star needle, a 5-star needle, plum blossom. They have different names, but what it is, it's a little hammer with either 5 or 7 needles on it. And if you have a spot, say in the back of your shoulder, that's always a problem. We can never really get it to go away and loosen up. We might do this treatment. So we sanitize the area, and with the little hammer with the needles on it, we bounce it off really quickly for maybe 5 seconds. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's really fast and usually very worth the end result. Then what we do is we put a cup over that area, and it's gonna pull the blood from that area out. And if you're squeamish about blood at all, this would probably be the time to turn this video off if hearing about it bothers you. I'm not gonna show you anything, but what that does is it'll start to pull out all that coagulated blood and a lot of that stagnation, and it brings a lot of new healthy blood right into that area. And then of course we take the cup off and dispose of the blood properly. And of course, which I like with the fire cups, they're all glass, so I can put them in my bucket of full spectrum hospital grade disinfectant. I usually leave them overnight, even though you only need 10 minutes, and that way we know they're completely sanitized. But that treatment, people usually will get up, move around, and it's instantly better when we do that treatment if it's called for. So the other thing we can do that's really easy to do with these types of cup is called sliding cupping or moving cupping. So if your whole back needs cupping, we can do a little bit of a liniment oil or a massage cream, put the cup on, and literally slide it up and down the body. And this is really great for releasing a lot of stagnation in that area as well. There's facial cupping that's really amazing for facial rejuvenation, but you do want to be careful that you're not leaving marks and that you don't have the pressure too high. So cupping is really fantastic for a lot of different things. It might not cure everything, but it is really helpful. I always let my patients know too that you don't have to have an acupuncture treatment to receive cupping. In my office, if you get acupuncture and you need cupping, it's part of the treatment. It's included if you want to do that. But you can also come in just for an appointment for cupping. And I have a lot of people that do it they come in just for cupping, and they do it often, and that's great. You don't have to always do the other treatments with it. So if you think that this might be something that will be helpful for you, let me know. We can get you in. I always offer a free consultation. If you know someone else it might be helpful to, please let them know. Send them this video. Let them know you did. And if you want to book with me, you can either go to my website, roxybarber.com, and book there, or call or text me. You can email me, but I check emails once a week, so that's not going to be your fastest way to get a response. So call or text or book online, and I would love to have you in. I hate seeing people in pain, and I love when we can do something that's not very invasive and help them get out of pain quickly. So hopefully we see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.